NFL playoffs are here. You know what to do. Stay tuned after the intro. Welcome to another show, another week being here. Obviously, amazing time right now. NFL playoffs. We're going to get into it. We have a bunch of other topics as well. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for everything because it's a packed show. Obviously, what can we say? NFL playoffs. They're here. A lot of fans' hearts will be broken this weekend. Obviously, some teams are in the playoffs. Some after this week, it's over. It's the end of the season. It's win or go home. So we'll get into that. We'll get into obviously you guys' questions that you guys always send me. Appreciate it. We'll get into we'll talk some Chelsea. Devastating loss today. Um, what else do we got? And then we'll talk the coaching changes. We'll talk national championship that happened yesterday, and we'll start there. So yesterday, the college national championship football, Michigan defeated Washington. Full disclosure, I don't really watch college football that much. Just the end, like the championship games, um, like the semifinals. So I had Michigan. I wanted Michigan to win. I like their quarterback Penix, but man, yesterday he had a horrible game. He kept missing high. He was getting hit. He would look flustered. And Michigan, it was they should have handled the game earlier. They kept Washington in the game. Man, their run game was obviously Harbaugh. He likes to run the ball. Happy for Harbaugh for winning the big one. The question now is he coming to the NFL? Is he going to stay in Michigan? But yeah, Michigan, they could have handled the game earlier. They let it play out. And but man, Penix, he wasn't making the plays. He wasn't being clutch. Like I said, he looked flustered. He kept throwing the ball high. And then Michigan, they took care of business. So they're the champs right now. The NCAA champs for football. Next year will be interesting. I guess they're going to change the format. There's going to be more teams in like the playoffs. They've had the 14 playoffs. I think it's going to go to 8 teams now. But like I said, full disclosure, I don't really watch college football like that. Um, I get into it right now after it during the draft, seeing who's going to be the top picks. So we'll see who the top picks will be. We'll get into them. We'll get into them. Don't worry. Full rant. Be ready. But that was the game yesterday. If you guys like college football, and that the other reason I wanted Washington to win, obviously, if you guys don't know, Washington is in the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is like, I guess, the West Coast, us, the Stanfords, the USC, UCLA's, Berkeley. Who else? Obviously, Washington, Oregon. So the Pac-12 will no longer exist. I think most of the teams are going to the Big Ten. Like I said, I'm not sure. So obviously, I wanted Washington to win uh, as a Pac-12, to leave with a bang, but that did not happen. Congrats to Michigan. Congrats to Jim Harbaugh. He finally won one. So are the Niners now going to win the big one as well? We'll see. But before we get to the playoffs, a lot of news today. A lot of coaching changes in the NFL. Some, like I said, were already determined. For example, Panthers, Raiders, they already let go of their coaches, so there's vacancies there. I guess Sunday night, the Falcons, they fired their coach, Arthur Smith. I mean, I know a lot of people don't know about the Falcons, but man, they have players. They have B. John Robinson, their tight end Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and this guy couldn't make it work with them. They finished what I think 7-9, and I felt like if there's an offensive coach takes the Falcons team, this Falcon team, it could be a scary team. I like their weapons. They might need a quarterback. I don't know about Desmond Ritter, but he was fired. And I'll get into it after this, but I guess I don't know if you guys watched the Falcons Saints game. The Saints won by a lot. They had the ball at their goal line. They were going to kneel it out to end the game. But as the players on the field, they decided, you know what? We want our running back to get a touchdown. So they pretended to kneel the ball and they got a touchdown. I'll get into it a little bit more after this topic, but Arthur Smith, the Falcons coach, he got a little upset with Dennis Allen, the Saints coach. He he probably already knew he was going to get fired, but he's been fired today. Surprisingly, I was not expecting this one. The Titans coach, Mike Vrabel, he got fired as well. Um, could he be going to the Patriots? He played for Belichick. He was, I think, their defensive coordinator. Then he moved to the Titans, but he got let go. That could be a move. And then there's Belichick out there. Where is he going to end up? There's a Raiders questions later on, but I'll get into Mike. So there's that. But yeah, the Commanders, they told their coach to also go kick rocks. But after the playoffs and these next coming days, we might hear of more. I had a couple teams that I put question marks. One could be obviously the Saints after the comments their coach made of their players basically deciding what to call. He might have lost the locker room. That might be an opening. Obviously the Patriots. I feel Belichick. He's either going to retire, become a GM, or go somewhere else. What if the Cowboys lose this weekend? Will McCarthy be fired as well? That might be a possibility because if they lose this weekend, after on Twitter I see the Cowboys fans saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, and imagine if Jordan Love, which we'll get into it, goes there and defeats the Cowboys. Cowboys might be looking for a new coach too. But those have been the changes right now. Coaching changes, vacancies. Chargers as well. They need a coach. Probably the rumor is Jim Harbaugh. They interviewed our defensive coordinator, Steve Wilkes. Also their offensive coordinator, El Moore. But like I said, that would be an interesting spot for Harbaugh. You have Herbert. You have a good team. You bring Harbaugh's mentality. The Chargers, they're a good team. They have a good defense as well. But let's get into the Jameis Winston incident. As I mentioned previously, so the game was over. I don't know how much they were winning by a lot. I think like 43 to like 17, something like that. So they're gonna kneel out. They're gonna kneel out, finish the game. They're at like the 1 yard line. Jameis Winston comes in to kneel out the game, and I guess they all decide they want to give the running back, the guy he used to play for the Lions. I forgot his name. I think it's Williams. They're like, we want to give him a touchdown because he hasn't had a touchdown all season. As a team, they decided. So they, instead of kneeling the ball, they faked it, gave it to him. He ran it in for a touchdown. A lot of people, they're upset. And at first I was like, man, I've always been like, why is the team crying? Like, why are you running up the scores? Like, bro, you guys are professional players. You guys, are paid to stop them. If you can't stop them, don't cry. They're just having fun. The point of playing sports is to have fun, score, stuff like that, right? So at first I was like, yeah, like, stop crying. But as I heard people's takes, I'm still like I still think like you shouldn't be crying, but what people were saying is, okay, if you want to score, then you should come out in a formation that tells the defense that you still want to keep playing. So at least they have the chance to stop you. Because if you come in like the kneeling formation, the other teams basically they're not they're not focused. They're like, all right, it's over. Like they're not going to do anything, right? So you kind of deceive them. So I get that. I get that conversation. If you want the score, no problem with scoring, but just let at least the defense know that you're trying to do that. And I guess I agree with that. But at the end of the day, you're already losing. You're a professional team. Stop them. That's why you didn't make the playoffs. Both teams didn't make the playoffs at the end of the day. if there's a team they want to get their player to score, do it. But I just think you kind of look soft crying about that, like, oh, why'd you run up the score? Da, da, da. Well, why didn't you defend better? Why didn't you have a better game plan? Why did you let it get to the point where you got blown out? That's my take on that. As you know, the hate, Jameis Winston's getting a lot of hate. I like Jameis Winston, obviously 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, but he looks like he's a cool dude. And they should give him a chance. I don't think he should be getting all the hate. He's just, since he's a backup quarterback, since he's a quarterback, obviously he gets the majority of the hate and stuff like that. But um, we'll see. I doubt Jameis Winston will return, and that's what I'm saying. I doubt Dennis Allen, their coach, will be even their coach, because it looks like the locker room, they're not listening to him. So I don't think he's going to be there next year. Next up, where the Seahawks at? Though, where the Seahawks at? I don't know where they're at, man. We're talking. This is a playoff episode, so I guess we can skip over that question, that topic of the Seahawks. I wish them all the best. Maybe Russell reunites back in Seattle. Obviously, he's going to be let go by Denver. Then we'll see. But as for this season, bye. Now, obviously, the Niners do not play this week. We have a first round bye. The team is getting healthier. But I'm not really going to talk Niners this episode. Like I said, we'll worry about it next week. But I got a couple things. So looking ahead, who would be a favorable matchup for the Niners in the divisional round? So I think there's only 4 options from the teams in the NFC that we could face. Obviously, we won't play the Lions or the Cowboys. The only way we would play them would be if we make it to the NFC Championship. So the teams that would be favorable, obviously, I believe the Niners can beat any of these teams. They've showed it all season long. But if you just think about who's more favorable, like who would be, I'm not going to say easy. No team's going to be easy, but who's most likely, who would you feel more confident, I guess? The number one team, am I gonna be controversial? I think the Eagles. If Eagles somewhat beat the Bucks and we face them, I think the Eagles are broken. Ever since we beat them, I don't know, like it's like they lost all confidence. They stopped believing in themselves. It was like a punch in the mouth. Jalen Hurts does not look good. Their defense is horrible. Their coach, I don't like that coach, but he doesn't know what he's doing. I think that would be my number one. I will take the Eagles in the divisional round. I feel like we'll destroy them. So that's one. The second one would be the Bucks. Baker, he's been playing well this season. A lot of people wrote him off, didn't believe him. He had a good season. He has Mike Evans. He has weapons. Rashid White. The defense is good. We already beat them. Like I said, it won't be easy, but I think we'll handle business. I don't think Baker Mayfield will beat us, even though he had a great game when he played us. But I think that the other one, Packers, would be, I guess, like the third one. That's either the third option or the potential tough game. Jordan Love, he's playing good. He's good. Their defense is sneaky good. They have young receivers. That's the only thing I feel like they're a year away. Next year, I feel like they'll be a definitely better team. Could they upset the Cowboys? We'll get into it later. But yeah, and then the last one that could be is the Rams. That would probably be, like I said, I think we beat them. We've beat them a lot. They beat us in the big one though, but I feel like that would be a tough game. But I think we come out on top. They got Cooper, Puka Nakua, Williams, obviously Matthew Stafford. He's an elite quarterback. He's already won the Super Bowl. But their defense, I feel like can't stop our offense. It would just have to come down to our defense stopping their offense. So that would be what I think would be the favorable matchups going forward in the divisional round. Last Niners topic. Moody, is he a concern? Um, so I go into this weekend knowing that this game doesn't matter. I'm not going to have any stress coming out of this game. I want to see, our backup players. I want to see Mason. I want to see our young DBs, how they do. I want to see our young tight end, Braden Willis, players like that, right? But I came out of this game stressed out because, man, our kicker Moody, he missed a field goal, he missed an extra point, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, don't worry about it." Like stuff like that happens, but I'm worrying about it because throughout this whole season, Moody hasn't been put in a position to kick like a stress, game winner or like need to have these points type of kick. We're always blowing out teams. We're always having an advantage. We score in the red zone, so we don't score a lot of field goals. So he hasn't been put in this situation. When he was against the Browns, what he do? He choked. We lost. And then this week, if he would have scored his kicks, we would have won that game. And what concerns me is that that game didn't matter, and he still got nervous. The weather's fine over here in the Bay Area. So imagine we're playing the Rams, divisional round, and we need to score the field goal to win the game. How confident would you guys be, Niners fans? How confident would you be that he will make it? I know I'm gonna be nervous. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be nervous. So my hope is that throughout these playoffs, we're winning comfortably. Obviously, as we get to the NFC Championship, Super Bowl, there's gonna be tough games. But I am concerned with Mooney, and if I'm the Niners, Robbie Gold, what you up to? I know you said you retired, but keep that leg warm. What you want? 6 million? You got it. Because Robbie Gold has never missed in the playoffs. Robbie Gold, if it's inside the 40, money. So I'm sorry, Moody. Like I know Kyle, he said, he's confident in him. Like he has no concerns. Obviously, he doesn't want to like put his confidence down, but it ain't no time to play right now. We want the Super Bowl, and you can't play like that. Like I know the kicker, it's an important position, and it's not, but it's an important position in the playoffs because some of these games are just, they're decided by field goals. So I'm concerned. Playoff prediction, I'm getting there. Don't worry. Pick up a new kicker at Hoover. I can kick that. I can bang it from 60 yards, left or right. You choose, Niners. I'm warming up. But those are my concerns. Moody. And what's crazy is they've interviewed Moody in the season, and what I found crazy is that he even admitted that. But I guess in Michigan, he said when he played in Michigan in college, he said that he's never kicked a game winner because obviously Michigan, I guess they would win their games by a lot. So he's never had that feeling of that pressure. And I'm concerned with that. What do you mean you've never kicked a game winner? And the thing is, I wouldn't be talking about a kicker if he was undrafted. Look at the Cowboys, man. Their kicker, the guy, he played in the MLS, undrafted guy. His only miss this weekend was because they blocked it, but he hasn't missed one. He's been like perfect. And it's like we could have done that. We used a third round pick for Moody, which we could have probably got an own lineman or I don't know, another position that's more useful. Obviously, kicker's useful, but we would be more use of it, and we use it on Moody. So if we use a third round pick on Moody, then I'm expecting him to be the next Vinatieri, the kicker for the Ravens. I don't know why I'm crossing his name, but I want him to be automatic. I want him to shoot with both feet. I want him to score the field goal with Rabona if we're using a third round pick. Like, come on. But Raiders' best position is kicker. And Carl said he didn't have a good ass season like he usually does, but he is a good kicker too. But he didn't have his best season. Now, speaking of the Raiders, who's the Raiders' next head coach? I still think they should give it to Antonio Pierce. The way the players are playing for him, that Chiefs win, I think they should give him a shot. Like I said, you bring smart coaches around him, a good offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. He leads them, kind of like what the Lions have with Dan Campbell. I feel like you do it. Our defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes, last year he finished the year with the Panthers. The Panthers ended up winning like four out of their last couple games. They're playing hard. They didn't give him the job; they gave it to somebody else. That coach got fired midseason. What I heard, my sources are telling me the owner, he's interested in bringing Belichick. Raiders fans, what do you feel about that? My take is, why would you do that? Um, Hold on, sorry. I'm texting Pepe's. He's asking me, am I live? I'm telling him yes. Anyways, sorry about that. Why would you bring Bill Belichick, Raiders fans? You just had basically Patriots B with the coach and the GM, McDaniels. Why do you want to bring that culture? That culture isn't working anymore. Look at the Patriots. Belichick, amazing coach, nothing to hate about him. 6 Super Bowls with Tom Brady, dynasty. But I think you need to give these young people, young coaches, a shot to build their own legacy. Maybe you could bring Belichick as like a consultant or something, but I don't know if he would want that. I feel like Belichick wants all the power, wants the decision to bring the players he wants. The players, I don't know, they might not like that environment. I feel like these Raiders players, they like to be, obviously you don't want to let them free and like take control, but they like someone they could relate to, and I feel like Belichick won't be relatable. Maybe if they get a Harbaugh, hey, Harbaugh, that'll probably be a good choice, but I think you stick with Antonio Pierce. Definitely AP got to stay. I'm on. Yeah, so hopefully it's not Belichick. Um, I mean, also the Raiders, they're in a good position to get one of these quarterbacks. I still think Penix is the in the mock drafts. They're putting him where the Raiders pick. I think you take Penix. You build like a good team around him. Hopefully Adams can stay. But I'm hearing he might be going with A Rod to the Jets. Garrett Wilson, he gave up his number 17. He's number 5 now. Why? Why is he giving up 17? But if you can get the draft picks, if you can get something for Devontae Adams, and like I said, you build a young core, or maybe you don't get Penix, but you draft his receiver, El Rome Odumze, something like that. He's good. That you start from there. You start building, and you build that culture. So Raiders fans, that's what you got to look forward to. Now, what do you think about the refs? How how have they affected? How they? I think he meant how, or maybe I made a mistake. How might they affect the rest of the games going on in the playoffs? So there's been a lot of controversy with refs lately in the NFL. Obviously, we have the Lions game, and they just haven't been. They've missed some calls, right? Obviously, like the Lions Cowboys game, there was never there was never clarity about it. Some people were saying that he said he was eligible. Other people are saying that that they got it right. So I just want them to be more, I guess, transparent. Like if they messed up, say, we messed up this call, we're gonna improve. But sometimes that's something you got to factor in. You can't leave the game up to the refs. You got to make plays. And hey, hopefully, I'm knocking on wood. Hopefully, the Niner season doesn't end in one of these calls, and I eat my words. But at the end of the day, if you can control what you can control, your own actions, your own, like if you score, if you defend well, then it's not going to be up to the refs to determine that. You may not get a call. Sometimes you may get a call. You may get a favorable call, and I'm sure any of us, whatever team we support, will take it. We'll say, "Hey, man, they messed up, but I'll take it." But then you could also get a call that won't favor you. But as long as you're able to control what you can control, then I don't think the refs should matter that much. And at the end of games, don't complain about the ref. You should have made that stop. You shouldn't have let them score the touchdown. You should have scored the touchdown, or you should have scored that goal. Era penal, no era penal. You can only control what you can control. Now, this one, I made this question up, and maybe it's going to ruffle feathers, but I want to rank the current quarterbacks in the playoffs from one. I believe there's 14 teams, 14 quarterbacks from 1 to 14. I made the list here, and let's see if you guys agree, if you don't agree. But so I guess I'll say the name and then I'll say why there's 14. So I got one, obviously Mahomes, the Chiefs. They aren't playing their best football, but you have a player like Mahomes. That's Jordan to me. That's he can single handedly this playoff. He turns up, makes it all the way to the Super Bowl, wins it. That's that type of player Mahomes is. So if I had to pick a quarterback, is Mahomes one of the current playoff quarterbacks. So Mahomes one. Number two, Lamar, MVP of the season, dual threat, can throw the ball, run. His team is amazing, good defense. He might not have the best weapons, but Lamar, he puts him in positions to win. Three, Josh Allen, because now if you want to play them, you're going to play up in Buffalo. It's going to be snowing. Another quarterback that, man, he can throw. He makes mistakes, but he can throw the ball deep. He can truck you. He can run. He has a running game now with James Cook. Defense is starting to play a little bit better. They handled Miami. So that's my top three quarterbacks for the playoffs. Number four, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, same thing. He has the weapons. He's already won the Super Bowl. He's an elite quarterback. He makes throws that Mahomes makes, but he doesn't get a lot of the love. And I know as Niner fans, we've been able to handle the Rams, but Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback. And Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup, they might not be the fastest, but they just get open. So that's my fourth quarterback, Stafford. Number five, gotta show love to BCB, Glock Purdy. I know he's a young quarterback. I know there's been questions all season, especially from Niners fans, from everyone else. But he's done this. He did it last year. He's played playoff games. He had some adversity and he's come back from it. And I'm going with Purdy as that's my top five for the playoffs. Number six, got to show love CJ Stroud. Amazing rookie season. This past game, man. Wow, what a game. What a game from CJ Stroud. That there was one play, I guess, where I thought he was going to get intercepted because, he like went back and he threw it and he made the pass. And you could say that this past game against the Colts was a mini playoff game because whoever won went to the playoffs. Whoever lost, bye bye. He proved himself. Like I said, he doesn't have the best of weapons, right? I mean, Nico Collins, all these players, like he's making them into stars. So CJ Stroud, the seventh guy, and this will be the top seven, I guess. The 14. I'm gonna go Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco in the playoffs. Something about Joe Flacco. He turns up. He's won the Super Bowl before. He has that amazing defense, and then that was going to be a good game. Browns Texans, because if CJ Stroud is able to beat the Browns with that defense, oof, oof. Because a stat I looked up is rookie quarterbacks going up against like the number one defense in playoffs. I think they haven't won. They're 0 and whatever. So that's why I'm picking Joe Flacco. He got off the couch. He has weapons. He has a good running game. When you have a good running game in the playoffs, you tend to do well. Here we go. Here are the Cowboys fans. How about them Cowboys? Number 8, I'm going with Dak Attack, Dakota Prescott. He's had an amazing season. I'm not going to take anything away. But in the playoffs, I haven't seen it for him. He's choked. Could he choke this week? We'll see. Then I got Goff. Um, he's made a Super Bowl. The Lions also, they have St. Brown, but they did, unfortunately, they I don't know if I don't know if he's out, but they did lose their tight end Sam Laporta, so it looks rough. So I got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So that was nine. 10th, I go with Jordan Love. I think the last like 5 games, he's like 13 touchdowns to 1 interception, playing way better. Also, another quarterback that's making his receivers look good. Reed, Romeo Dobbs. He's going to get Christian Watson back. Aaron Jones has been playing better. So that's another guy to look. Now, the last four. So I got Hurts. Like I've been saying, Hurts, man. Did he get figured out? Did the Niners expose Hurts? I mean, he hasn't looked good. The Eagles haven't looked good. So, but I still give him the benefit of the doubt over the last 3 quarterbacks because he's at least made the Super Bowl. Then the next guy, Baker Mayfield. Eh. The second to last guy, 13th place, Tua. Man, after what I saw on Sunday night, he ain't it. Tua, I tweeted that. I put Tua ain't it. I'm sorry. I don't think he's going to go and beat the Chiefs. And then the last one, man, I don't even know who the Steelers quarterback is. Next question. Cap. Cap on what? No way. No way on what? How's Tua going to perform on ice? You sent me that fact. He like 0-4, right? Who's Cap? It's going to be, we're saying Dak not a player quarterback, but you put Lamar at 2 when he's 1-1 play again. But he's the leading MVP. That's why what has Dak done too? Who's your quarterback? I told you I'm going against the Steelers. Maybe I'm the good luck for the Steelers, but I got to go against them. I don't see them going to the Bills and beating Josh Allen. If they do, next episode would just be dedicated to the Steelers. We're talking playoffs now, though. So who you put number 2? Allen. Like I said, until not regular season, like you said. Hey, I respect your take, but Lamar, I mean, he might. Hey, you're right. He might choke, but what I'm seeing, like from these quarterbacks, I got to put him number 2. Um, who would you put number 2? Allen, Stafford, Mason Rudolph. I knew this was gonna ruffle feathers, but that's my list. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll go over it next week. We'll see from the top 7 if they are obviously Lamar and Purdy. They'll make it to the next round, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Mason Rudolph will be the number 1 quarterback next week. I was thinking that, if I'm honest with you. I was thinking that one because, like I said, a lot of people don't respect Stafford, but he's 1-1. Coming in hot. Goff number 2? All right. We still got a lot to talk about. We haven't even jumped into the playoffs. So, the first one to start off Saturday, Browns Texans. Houston. It's in Houston. Like I said, the Browns, I think they have the top defense in the NFL. Scary. Joe Flacco. But the one thing, it is in Houston. Those fans, they're going to fill that stadium up. And it all starts off with how the game starts. If CJ Stroud is able to get some momentum, he gets a touchdown early, he feels comfortable, then I think they might win it. But if the game starts, they sack him, he throws a pick, then I think it's over. And I think the Browns, will come on top. But my hope is CJ Stroud can pull through. My hope is CJ Stroud, I don't know if he'll make it all the way to the AFC Championship, but if he is able to win this one, I was. That's what I'm saying. I was. Let's see. Like the round starting in the next round. Funny. Mid Stafford, like Carr. Rams play at Levi South though. Texans. Niners are the modern day Dodgers. Great team, but don't have what it takes to win it all. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, like I said, if they lose, if the Niners lose, like if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, if they lose the Super Bowl, then I don't want, because I hate when Niners fans say, "Oh well, at least we made it to the NFC Championship. At least, oh, but before we wouldn't even make it this far. We wouldn't even make playoffs." Like teams like obviously me and Chidi, we have our back and forth, but teams like the Steelers, teams like the Cowboys, the Niners, we don't. I don't know, the Patriots, we don't play to go to the playoffs. We play to win the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl or bust. So I'm confident this year might be the year for us. But as our Cowboys fan said, he's confident too. So one of us is gonna have to eat crow, and this is what the playoffs is all about. It's time to put up or shut up. I'm excited, but I'm excited. Gio holding that receipt, I'll hold on to it. We'll see. I mean, you got one more week. I mean, like I said, I'm 0-2 going against the Steelers. Hopefully for you, I'll be 0-3. Next game, Dolphins versus Chiefs. Man, how the Dolphins have fallen far. They were also not like the Eagles, but they for a while it looked like they were gonna, take the AFC number one seed or for sure at least host a playoff game. But who have the Dolphins beat? When it mattered most, they lost against obviously they lost against the Bills for the division title. They handled the Cowboys. Did they handle the Cowboys? I forgot. Bonnie, let me know. Did they beat the Cowboys? It was battle of the mid either way, so I forgot. But I know as important games, they weren't able to capitalize. They did beat the Chiefs, but it was over there in Germany. But this time it's an Arrowhead. That stadium's going to be loud. Like I said, Mahomes in the playoffs, different beast, tongue out. Jordan. I don't think the Dolphins can beat the Chiefs. I don't see it. Um, the Chiefs defense is a little underrated as well. They have a good defense, obviously with Chris Jones, and I think just Mahomes gonna, you know, have that staple game like I'm Mahomes, bitch. So I got the Chiefs, and I said on this one I got the Browns. So I got the Browns. I got the Chiefs. Now, probably the game of the week. Probably winner of here might be AFC champ. We got the super duper Pittsburgh Steelers going up against turnover machine Josh Mahomes. No TJ Watt. That's it, you have to admit that one's tough. It's tough because if there was any way the Steelers would have won, TJ Watt got to play. I don't know if he's ruled out yet. Has he been ruled out? I'm I'm assuming he is. I don't know if Mason Rudolph is going to go up to Buffalo and outduel Josh Allen. He might not need to. It might be a Najee Harris warring game. You just run the ball. You try to keep the ball away from Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's going to make some plays. If the defense can capitalize on some of his turnovers, you might make it a game. But I got the Bills. I'm sorry. But I think that's if the Steelers were to win, that's how you win it. Uh this game is gonna okay. Don't talk to me about regular season. I'm in playoff mode, okay? Bills. This is the game I'm skipping. Ruled out. Okay, he's ruled out. Is well, yeah, he's ruled out. We just gotta confirm that. So is that a bad take? How confident are you, Chidi? Obviously, that's your team. You gotta be confident. But when you're real, next one. Packers Cowboys. I've been hearing, and there's a couple questions here about this game, so that's why I put it under this topic. So the first question is from 1 to 10: How surprised would you be if the Cowgirls choked against Green Bay? And will the Packers get the win against Dallas? Another storyline game. You got McCarthy going up against his old team, the Packers. Now the Cowboys, I think they're undefeated this season playing at home. But as you guys say, the regular season is a regular season, right? So let's keep it 100 both ways. The Cowboys, they have Dak Prescott. This could be his come out game as well. With CeeDee Lamb at home, everything should be good. Defense, they get turnovers going up against, you could say, a rookie quarterback in Jordan Love with young receivers. The lights might be too bright. I think the Cowboys, they win this one. Now, how surprised would I be if they choked? I wouldn't be surprised. That's what Cowboys do. They do Cowboys things, Like Stephen A. Smith said, the accident waiting to happen. Now, for me, I would like the Cowboys to keep winning because I would like the Cowboys to make it all the way to the NFC Championship to play the Niners. That would be historic. That's the matchup I want to see. That's, the historic matchup. For the script writers, I think that's what they would want, right? But could the Packers upset? They could. But I'm going with the Cowboys. I keep them alive. If we would have beat the Rams and it was Rams Cowboys, I'm taking the Rams. But I'm taking the Cowboys on this one. Nick. Okay. Bro, who writing these ones? They need a spell check. I just copy them with what you send them. Maybe I need to proofread them. So that's on me. That's on me. I'll take the blame. Call me Akon. Okay. Rams Lions. This is probably the best matchup of the week. And the reason they make it Sunday, I think this is the Sunday night one. Wow, what a game. And it was meant to be. It was meant to be. Obviously, that's why Sam Darnold fumbled the ball at the end of the Rams-Niners game, because he knew, all right, it has to be Rams Lions. We got two storylines. We got Goff trying to beat the Rams and telling McVay, you know what? You doubted me. I'm going to eliminate you. I'm going to beat you. But then you also have Stafford, many years playing in Detroit, going back home, and ending, I believe this is, it was been 30 years since the Lions had hosted a playoff game. And for Stafford to go in there and end it, cinema. Wow. So this is the game I feel like everyone's going to be tuned in. I feel like it's going to be back and forth. I don't think one team's going to, go ahead. I feel like it's going to go down to the wire. And I feel like the Rams, they win. I'm going with the Rams. I feel, like I said, Jared Goff, he's just going to do Jared Goff things. He's going to prove McVay right. So I'm going with Matthew Stafford on this one, the Rams. If somehow the Steelers beat the Bills, we're going to the AFC Championship. No way Lamar beats us in the playoffs. Ahí está. Next up, Eagles Buccaneers. Probably, I don't know. At least all the other games, I don't know. That's probably why they put it on Monday. But Eagles Bucks, I would want the Eagles to win. Like I said, I feel like, if the Rams win, then we would play the Rams. But let's say the Rams don't win, I would want the Eagles to win because I feel like they're a disaster class now. They're done. They're wrapped up. I mean, I saw that AJ Brown's injury is not too bad, but I'm sure he's going to be lingering with that, and that's their best weapon. And Jalen Hurts, I don't know if you guys saw his finger. It got all like, ugh. But I could see, man, honestly, I think the Bucks are going to win, are going to beat the Eagles. It's going to look bad. And Sirianni, after that, he might get fired. So I got the Bucks. But we'll see how we do next week when we go over, was I right? Was I wrong? The Steelers Masterclass, Mason Rudolph, next Hall of Famer. We'll see. Tune in next week. Um, anything else for NFL? Those are all my NFL questions for this week or topics. We're gonna jump into something near and dear to me. Last week, I gave flowers to this player. I said he's the best thing we got. And today, I don't know if you guys even watched the game. Most people, I didn't get any comments on it because maybe most people didn't know Chelsea played today. But Chelsea indeed played today, and for the Carabao Cup semifinal against Middlesbrough. So Middlesbrough is in the Championship League, mid-table, and they beat us 1-0. Cole Palmer had 3 sitters, and he missed all 3. Now, he had a bad game, but I was comparing him. He's the next Lampard. Lampard will never miss things like that. But it's not all Cole Palmer's fault. So this is where the Chelsea rant. Man, what has happened to my club? I don't recognize this club anymore. Mauricio Pochettino, you gotta go, man. I'm sorry. It's your fault. It's not your fault. You gotta go. Like, ever since we hired him, I was never on board with him because he's a loser. When he was in PSG, all those weapons, Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, he couldn't do anything. He didn't win it. Oh, he won the French league, but I could win it. When he was in Tottenham, they never won anything, never won shit. And now this team isn't even better than when we had Graham Potter. When we had Lampard, like, this team is not better. It has not improved. Like, watching this game was so frustrating. Like, bro, like, obviously Middlesbrough scored 1-0. What they're gonna do? Park the bus. What does Chelsea do? They threw crosses. I mean, these guys are professional players, and they're crossing the ball from one end zone to the other corner, from one corner kick to the other corner kick, not giving a chance to anyone to, like, make a play or score a header. Like, bro, Caicedo, what are you doing, bro? Like, I thought you were worth 100 million. Like, we should have just let you go to Arsenal and Liverpool at this point. Our defense, trash. The only good thing is now our new keeper. He's solid, at least. Who else? Sterling, get the fuck out, bro. Like, you're fucking ass. Like, I'm done with Sterling with this. I'm done. I'm done with him. I know I'm missing some players to hate on. I guess Enzo was the only one that played all right, but not saying much. Oh, Gallagher. Get the fuck out, bro. You too, man. And you're the captain? Disgrace, man. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I'm fucking why am I so pissed? Why? I don't know why I'm pissed. The Niners, they're good. But that's the beautiful thing of sports, right? You have the Niners, one team, top of the cream of the crop. But you got to have a team that's ass right now. That's ass, so you can have those sensations, like probably how Seattle fans feel, how Manchester United fans feel. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see what this club has become, a laughing stock of the Premier League. What changes can they make? Shit. Sorry for cursing a lot. Whatever. I don't know what they can make. They got to sign a striker, like a legit striker, like someone that could, I don't know, score a goal, kick the ball into this rectangular thing that gives you points. That would be great. Uh, a a solid midfielder. But yeah, that's my take. And I mean, this is what's going to happen, right? So obviously, it's 2 legs. We lost the first leg. In 2 weeks, we could win 4-0, go to the final, but we're going to lose to Liverpool. Let's be honest. We're not going to win anything. They should fire him, Pochettino, already. Like, let's just. But then the other thing is, like, nothing gives me hope because our owners, they just want profit. We have the I think he's the Dodgers owner, and he doesn't care. As long as Chelsea makes profit, he's happy. So it's just going to be an endless loop of this to being mediocre, not those old Chelsea teams that would fight for Premier League, Champions League, that played for the badge. It is what it is. Let's see. Chelsea will do Chelsea things. See, now they're a meme. What is Chelsea things? Before it was winning, now it's they'll do Chelsea things. Trex. Yes, he's like I don't what's with why in England if you're English midfielder that's mid, you're considered like one of the best midfielders in the world. I'm talking to what happened to Mason Mount? He's in Man U. I haven't heard anything from. Does he even play? I knew he was asked. He had that one season where he almost made me a believer, but then he's been asked. Gallagher, what does he do? Like, what does he do? He's mid. I sound like George now. Where's George? Who should Chelsea sign? Osimhen. Chelsea gonna go. If that happens, shit, we back. But right now he's doing a lot of I don't want to go to Real Madrid. And he's gonna end up there. Like he's just it's puro show. All right. Next one. It's gonna be a long show today. I still got a lot of topics, but for my Mexican fans and Earthquakes fans, there's been I don't know if it's official, I don't know if it's a rumor. Cade Cowell to Chivas. What? I'm gonna share something. So obviously, if you guys don't know Chivas, they can only play or sign Mexican born players. But the past couple of years they were more lenient. If you have Mexican parents, you can play. So if you're Mexican American, you can play. But I guess they're even more lenient. So Cade Cowell, I think his grandma is Mexican. He just received his Mexican passport. He plays for the USA. He doesn't speak Spanish. There's an interview of him that he really doesn't have a Mexican heritage, like culture. He doesn't, but he's going to play for Chivas. As Chivas fans, my opinion, I really don't care. But I guess the reason why you're a Chivas fan, right, is because when you win, it's like, we did it with our own people. We did it with Mexican-born players. That's their whole lore. Like, their thing is like, we don't do it like America. Like, they got to buy players from other countries to win. We do it with just Mexicans. But now Chivas kind of doing that because for the past couple of years, they haven't been able to compete. But a player like Santi Jimenez wouldn't be able to play for Chivas because Santi Jimenez was born in Argentina. And I guess, he has no Mexican blood in him. Even though you could say Santi Jimenez is very Mexican. Like he's grew up in Mexico. He chose Mexico over Argentina. Mexico means a lot for him, but he would never be able to play in Chivas because his dad, even though he also played for Mexico and basically made a career in Mexico, is from Argentina. There's no Mexican blood that Santi Jimenez carries, even though he plays for the Mexico national team. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't care. I mean, he could play. Let's talk about Cade Cowell, the player. I don't see it in him. I feel like obviously his thing is he has speed, he's strong, but I don't feel he has great ball control. I don't feel like that final extra pass or the scoring option, he doesn't do well. And I don't know how he's going to be used in Chivas. Hopefully, he's still young, so hopefully he improves, but I don't know if it's a signing. I don't know. We'll see. Chelsea forward. I'll take Coach Julio and Chelsea for real. You need to stay. Meta la pelota 10 forward. I'll take Coach Julio out there. They need that motivation. Cuando estaba chico and I needed to make the team, I cracked my own brother. He's never gonna play soccer again. Mi purpa sangre do. But that's my thoughts on Kate Cowell. We'll see. I don't know if it's official yet. Uh, I think they're working on it. I know Chicharito. They're also working on bringing Chicharito back. But we'll see. Now, other Bay Area teams, the Warriors, keep losing. What moves should they be making, if any? Man, the Warriors, you got Draymond saying that he thought about retiring because he said if he can't hit players anymore, I don't know if he doesn't want to play anymore. You got Kerr not playing probably their best player in Kuminga, and Kuminga wants to go. Same with Moody. Curry, he's been playing ass lately. Klay Thompson's been playing a little bit better. Obviously, I've said about Pajemski the whole season. He's a good player. Hopefully, they keep playing him and they don't do what they did to Kuminga. But I think what you got to do, I say keep Kuminga because you don't want him to go somewhere else and he becomes like a mega star. He has the athleticism. He's a good player. So I say you trade Wiggins, maybe you trade Moody and somebody else, and you get like a big. You get someone big. If you want to, try to make the playoffs, but they could. I mean, it's still they got. I think what a couple weeks before the trade deadline. So that's what I would do. You trade Wiggins because Wiggins he's packed up. He once he got the championship, he's not been. I mean, wasn't it last year where he like left the team for like 3 months and no one knew why? You can't win forever, bro. It's time. Shut up. Shut up to Pancho or me. I can shut up. When Curry retires, then it's time. Okay. To Pancho. Pues Pancho, he hyped because he has el Webby. So he coming up. But Pepe's, do you agree with that? I think we trade Wiggins. Maybe you get rid of Way Moody too. And somebody else to get, like a center or something. Maybe you give up Wiggins, Looney, Moody, and I don't know. I don't know what's out there, but I think you keep Kaminga. You can't get rid of Kaminga. If you get rid of Kaminga, then is what Pancho said. It's time because Curry probably got only like 2 more years, I think. El Draymond, like I said, if he ain't hitting, he don't want to be there. But we'll see. We'll see what Steve Kerr does. How about this? Is this Steve Kerr's last season? I don't think he has a contract after this season. Would you want a new coach? Was Mike Brown the real coach when he was with the Warriors? Look at Sack. Sack's pretty good, and hey, Sack, they might even try to poach some players from the Warriors to go over there. Warriors gonna go in rebuild phase, another 10 years of no playoffs. Laughing emoji. Yeah, Billy Brown coming on Pajemski. Sacramento Kings. You a Sacramento Kings fan, Bunny, now? Pues ahí vives, ¿no? En el light the beam. They got a good team. I saw a rumor where you trade some players, they give Harrison Barnes back to the Warriors. Would you take Harrison Barnes? So he can miss clutch threes? Anyways. All right. Now to the fun questions. We got from yours truly, Bonnie, favorite Mexican candy. Many options, many ways to go with this one. It's a good one. Mazapan, that's a top three. Even though it gets messy, but a good mazapan, can't go wrong with that. Dubalin, another elite. That's a elite one. The spicy, like, I don't know if you ever there's like spicy tamarindo candy. That shit's good. That's a banger. I didn't really mess with Lucas. Yeah, not Lucas. Or the flat paleta. It's like shaped in a lollipop, but it's flat. That one was good too. Barnes for Siakam. But that would be my favorite Mexican candy. Let's see, am I missing good ones? No, like mazapan's a good one. Duvalin, um, like those spicy lollipops. The Yeah, like the watermelon spicy one. That one's good too. The picagomas. There you go. But those are my choices. Uh, we got what's one thing you knew. What's one thing you knew? This one I probably messed up, Pepe's. I know it wasn't you, but I think you meant. What's one thing you wish you knew when you were younger that you know now? Great question. Women are evil. Um, life is a lot funner when there's no women. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm about to get killed. JK. One thing I knew that I was younger, that it's important to build credit early. Like when you're able to build credit, maybe at 18. So when you get to our age, all of our ages, everyone here's 30 already, 31, 32. Pepe's, I think you're 30, right? Having that established early on takes you a long way at this age. Investing money, or when I was younger, maybe in 2008, instead of focusing on like buying shoes, maybe buy a house, because that housing market in 2008 went all the way down. You know, I was what, 15 years old. I should have bought a house at that age. Kidding, but that would have been smart at that age. But that, and then knowing that st- something, is I guess just knowing that family is important, the friends groups you have is important, and they go and just finding right friends and not trying to being yourself. That's a good one. Being yourself, not trying to fit a mold or trying to be cool or whatever. Because what was cool in those days, when you look back 15 years later, whatever, 10 years, 20 years, it wasn't that cool. Like whoever you are, whatever you like is already cool. I feel like at this age now, like I like Star Wars. I like, dumb things. I play video games and I think it's cool because I enjoy it. I like it. If someone else thinks I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd. But it is what it is. But you can go a lot of answers with this. Obviously, yeah, I think the most important is just being yourself. Be yourself. There's a little truth behind women are evil. Some women are evil. I don't know if you guys are on Twitter, but man, women, they're evil. They think that they're always right. They think I'm kidding. Eh. Anyways, moving forward, what are things I want to focus on this year? Just like I feel like last episode we talked about the resolutions, just every day being a better me, improving myself, the cliches, but it's real. Every day just trying to be a little 10% better. Maybe that's a lot. 1% better. Um, Obviously mental health, number one priority, because mental health controls everything. If you have a strong mental health, that'll lead to, better physical health, better health in your everyday relationships, family. Another thing, improving the show. I got a live podcast tomorrow, filming it. Hopefully, I'll bring it out Friday or Monday. It's gonna be a good one. Uh, we're gonna jump into some mental health. He wants relationship, or we'll get into it. We'll see it. You'll see it when it comes out. But improving that, having more guests. Like I said, not making it just this show, even though this show has this cult following. But those are my goals, and like I said, just improving, and hopefully the Niners win the Super Bowl. That's it. Okay. one Mexican song that reminds you of your childhood. Jose Jose, la de Qué triste fue decirnos adiós. That one. Some Bookies with the Fabuloso Saturday Cleaning. Um, who else? Some Luis Miguel. But there's not just one song, it's just many songs, many genres. Tigres del Norte, Los Temerarios, a lot of bangers that they have. Going all in on the Dodge. Oh, yeah. Why didn't I know to invest in Bitcoin when I was 15 years old? How dumb am I? Why was I focused on playing soccer? But those songs. The last question is a good question. What was my favorite high school subject or class? History. I love history, American history. Uh, that like I know a lot of people they hated history. They didn't find joy in it, but I found joy in learning about history because if you don't know about history, you're destined to repeat those mistakes that people in the past did. My favorite era of history would be World War II. I just find it fascinating how we let such a hateful people gain so much power, gain so much following, and how obviously I'm talking about the Nazis in Germany, how they were able to manipulate people with fear by basically putting everything that's bad that's happening to them, blaming it on people, and for them to agree and do horrendous things to these people. But I guess we still haven't learned because this thing still goes on in the world. Obviously, we have Israel and Palestine. Whatever side are you on, it's horrible. And other places around the world, Ukraine, Russia, it happens here as well. But I just find it fascinating. I always found it fascinating. Revolutionary War, World War One, um, the Vietnam War. Learning about the presidents. I enjoy history. Um, Other than that, I guess when you were younger, like science classes, because the experiments, stuff like that. But actually, classes that I would be focused on history when I would take courses in college. I really enjoyed my philosophy class. That one was a little eye opening, just the way we think, the way that and psychology too. But history would be my favorite subject. I got caught cheating on a test in history class. Por way. What was your least? Math. When I was younger, I was good at math, but after they added shapes and nah, man, I couldn't do it. I don't know if Nen is here. If Nen, you see this later, I don't know how he did it, man. I only went up to like pre-calc. That's it. Every math class I had to take it twice. So my freshman year, I think I did algebra, and then I did algebra again. And then I took geometry twice, and then algebra two. I was able to handle that because of algebra, but geometry was my toughest. Oof, I could never. The shapes, man. The Pythagorean. I don't need. Ya se me olvidó la neta. Pythagorean theorem. I know. What's it called? PEMDAS. Or I remember that, but when have we used the Pythagorean theorem in life? What if they would have taught us how to do our taxes, how to apply for healthcare, how to start an IRA for our retirement? Why don't they teach us those things? Because society and schools, they want to control us and they want us to enslave our minds, man, so we don't think outside the box and progress in life. Getting what are they called? Conspiracy theorists. They don't want us to succeed in life. I wish I wish I was high on pot news. A squared, there you go. And then there's my nerd. A squared, what's that? Plus B squared equals C squared. Not to get too political, but a ver. I used a lot in construction, but people use it in a shortcut version. That's what I'm saying. Show us a shortcut version. Like, why we gotta? I get we have to know like the gist of it, but I feel like they made it harder than it was. But I think we talked about this. Then the good thing about math is there's only one answer. You can get there many ways, but there's one answer. And then like other subjects, sometimes it's up to your interpretation on things. But I feel like I enjoy that more because I can BS more, and that's what I'm good at. And then math, I can't BS my way into the right answer because there's only one. Literally find the hot pot news. Anyways, guys, great show. I enjoyed it. Good luck to all the playoff teams. We'll see who makes it to the next round. We'll see what surprises there are. Oh, okay, we got last one. What was Bonnie's best subject? I don't think he went to school, to be honest. Actually, Bonnie, in college, I took a class that was about movies and film. I think you would have done good there. I know. I gotta eat. I got time. 9:30. Anyways, guys, thank you. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.